Good morning. My name is Rob, aka the Junk Monkey, and I am a full-time picker reseller. I'm also a semi-retired watchmaker. We'll talk more about that in a later video. Right now we are on our way to the post office. Then we're going to go to the bins, Goodwill outlet. Reseller Nirvana Paradise. It's where you can source things that are bought by the pound. And in my particular one, the more pounds you buy, the less you pay per pound. The goal is to get 30 pounds and pay 99 cents a pound. But between here and there, like I said, we've got to go to the post office and then the bottle drop. I go to the bottle drop to turn in bottles and cans for a little extra money to add to our budget, our thrifting budget, sourcing budget, if you will. And I thought I'd just talk to you for just a minute. I appreciate everybody that's been watching my videos. I really, really do. For years, I never had any plans of getting monetized, and I'm still not. There's a lot of watch hours that I need. But I need to add something. I need to add more revenue streams, and content creation is what I've chosen. One of the things I've chosen. And I know I'm not good at it, folks. I don't know how to edit. I only recently learned how to string 2 clips together, which is what all my videos that you've been watching are. That's it. Nothing else. No fancy stuffs, no cutaways, no overlays. I don't know how to do all that stuff yet. What I do know how to do is go find treasure. I don't care where I'm at, there's always some kind of treasure. And here in Medford, there's always a bum in the middle of the street. Sorry, don't get mad at me. It's just a fact of life here. But anyway, I am very good at treasure hunting. At this point in my life, treasure hunting is finding things at places like the bins, thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales. And it's really only treasure if it's valuable, and it's really only valuable if you can sell it. If somebody else wants it bad enough to trade you money for the item, then it's treasure. But I am trying to learn how to do more editing. At the very least, I want to learn how to do the overlays, to add things like sold comps or what I've actually sold things for, or active listings. I want to kind of be able to put those up there in the screen somewhere. I have a sip of my coffee, which incidentally, this is a Starbucks tumbler that I thrifted at the bins a couple of years ago. When I'm on the road drinking my coffee because I didn't have enough time to drink it at the house, this is what I use. So anyway, I'm going to try to get better at editing. It's going to be a slow process for me. I am technologically retarded. Again, there's a term, it's probably not nice, but I'm talking about myself. And it's true. Me and technology just don't get along. I learned how to do the very basic minimum, and then that's all I do. I can't afford to be that way anymore. I've got to get better at this. And I'm hoping you guys will like and subscribe and come along for the ride. One of these days you tell people, I knew Junk Monkey back when he could barely string 2 clips together. Now look at him. That's my hopes and my dreams for content creation anyway. And that's where I'm headed. Something else that I've noticed a lot of content creators that I watch, not necessarily resellers, but a lot of them, they start second channels. I have no plans of doing that right now, although I do have a second channel. It's for rocks, gems, and minerals, which are just, to me, another form of treasure. I'll get into that more later, as in posting over there, but for now, I'm not really doing a whole lot. But one thing that they do, these other content creators, is they get content made up ahead. And normally on Mondays, which today it's Monday, you'll be watching this on Tuesday, it's my biggest sourcing day of the week. And I'll hit several places. The rest of the week, I'm lucky if I get to hit even one place. And those one places I can make a video out of that. And on these Monday trips where I'm going to several places and making one really long video, those videos haven't actually been performing well. So I thought I would hit two birds with one stone. And instead of making one super long video that most people who click on my video don't watch all the way to the end, I'm going to make 2 or 3 videos and then be a couple of videos ahead. Get you guys some shorter, more focused content and show you a lot more of the actual thrifting and shopping and what's on the shelves and in the bins than what we're doing right now, me sitting here yakking at you. So that's my plan. Again, I hope you like and subscribe and come along for the ride. Today we're headed to the bins, and I'll see you when we get there. All right, folks, we have made it to the Goodwill outlet, aka the bins. Let's get in there and see what we can find. All right, Minecraft. Yep. All right. I don't know if this is one of them that's worth anything, but it is an Easter Unlimited. We'll throw it in the cart and check it out when we finish this island. Back you guys up so you can see a little better. Whatever that is. Hang on, I just saw something I needed to shop. Going through a lot of these plastic tubs lately, so we'll throw one of them in and take it home. Well, I was hoping that I found that mask right there, and I've been seeing a little bit of other Halloween themed stuff that we were getting into a pile of vintage Halloween. Oop, there's a minifig without a head. I'll take him home and add him to my minifig collection of parts. Got a box that I keep. That way when I find minifigs in a bulk lot and I'm working with that kind of stuff, some Lego, I can look through my bin of parts and see if I've got enough parts and pieces to complete the ones that I find that are not complete. This is one with Lego minifigs down in the bottom. We're going to have to dig all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to turn the camera off so I can use both hands and get a look at this bin. All right, bring you back in when I find something. We're getting a rotation, and that means we get new bins to dig through. There's not too much of a crowd in here, but it's enough to mob the new bins. So I don't know if I'll join that mob or not, probably not. We got a few things in the cart to go through, an old plastic plain old tackle box. It needs a lot of cleaning, but sometimes these things can be worth good money. Still got the original factory sticker on it with the model number on it, so that'll help. We found another Halloween mask. We also found several VHS that are in German. So we'll probably have to use Google Lens to look those up and see if they're worth keeping. Maybe not, but when I find weird stuff like that, I like to look it up. All right, I'm gonna get off of here, look this stuff up, and then when the madness of the rotation calms down a little bit, I'll bring you back in. We're almost ready with the new rotation. They left 2 old ones on the entire row, so we will go through the one closest to me first, and we'll move to the back. And that'll give us 2 more islands plus the clothing back wall to go through if we go through it. Sorted through the last batch of stuff. There really wasn't anything noteworthy that we kept. So hopefully better luck in this next round that I do of searching the bins. You guys cross your fingers for me and wish me some luck. Y'all, I just finished this little island next to me. There was 2 old ones, and then the other 4 were brand new. So it's a little bit of a mob still going on. Everybody's way back there in the back of the 2 brand new ones. So being that I was really crowded, I couldn't record for you, but I just found the find of the day, if not the week or month. A bunch of glorified nonsense that I got to go through. There's a Sony PlayStation controller wired. I briefly hit the joysticks on it. They work good. So to clean it up and I don't know, put it on for $5 or $6. But the find of the day, a cast iron Dutch oven, a small one, but it's Griswold and it's a number 7. I found it. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to find the lid. And I almost moved on, and I looked way down underneath a bunch of really big crap, and I saw the edge of it sticking out. So I ran my hand up in there and grabbed it and yanked it out of there and ripped the side of my fingernail off doing it. But there is the lid for it. So find of the day. I haven't even looked it up, but I know this is a good one. So I can be a little less frantic. I can take my time, slow down. We have found treasure. I love it. I'm going to go through this stuff. That is a vintage, like 20s or 30s hat. It's made in California and Oakland. So that actually might be something. Maybe not, but it's also got a little bit of damage to the thread. But we're going to look it up anyway. Found some more plastic tubs. I'll take a few of them home. The rest of them I'll leave here. I'll bring you guys back in when I get ready to move to the next island of bins. And hopefully our luck continues today. But even if it doesn't, finding that Griswold Dutch oven, that was awesome. Y'all, we did it again. We found another rock at the Goodwill bins. This is actually a piece of petrified wood. No telling how many millions of years old. But it might be really interesting to cut it and see what kind of patterns we got in it. So we'll get this home, we'll get it cut and show you what the inside of a piece of petrified wood looks like. It's probably the greatest piece of petrified wood. I have found much nicer out in the wilderness myself, but I don't know, it's just too good to pass up. But we'll get that home, get it cut, and show you what's on the inside of it. The last island of bins for me to go through is waiting on me, so I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to go dig through that, and if I find anything, I'll bring you in. All right, folks, we made it through the last island of bins. Hands are beat up. We found some remote controls that I need to look up. I know that's a good one. Don't know about that one. I have no idea what this is, but I am going to look it up. C4 Labs, whatever it is. Found this cast iron piece, and then we found a cast iron Dutch oven earlier. This has some faint markings and numbers on it. I'll look it up, see if it's anything. We also found several VCRs and combo units. Most of them, the older ones that only had the 2 jacks for the RCA connections, and they've got the metal cabinets, and I have no way of testing them here, so I leave those here. This one, on the other hand, is a DVD recorder, and some of these, especially the Magnavox ones, can be really good even for parts. So we're going to look it up, and we'll take it to the front and see what kind of deal they'll make us on it, because it is a big piece, it is heavy. So they'll normally give it to me for $2, $4, or $5, depending on who's there and what mood they're in. But we're going to go through this, and then we're going to go way up and see how close we are to 30 pounds of hard goods. And if we need to, we will come back and hit the clothing wall to top off and get our 30 pounds. So stick with me, and I'll let you know how it goes. Well, folks, we just finished up at the Goodwill bins. We got our 30 pounds of hard goods, plus a few pounds of electronics, plus the DVD recorder VHS combo unit from Magnavox. I looked it up. That Magnavox DVD recorder is not one of the better ones. I don't think it has the HDMI connection to it. But even for parts, it's worth at least 20 bucks. They charge me $3 for it. That's worth taking the risk on. If it does work, we'll get somewhere between $75 and $100 for it. So that was a good pickup. So like I said, we got our 30 pounds. Most of it is glorified nonsense. We got that chunk of petrified wood. And it's just a bunch of mostly stuff I can use around the shop. A few things that can resell. But we also got a bag full of electronics, which is mostly power supplies and heat controls for electric skillets, power supplies for electric blankets. Wintertime is fast approaching. That kind of stuff does sell. People break out their electric blanket, plug it in, it don't work. They get online and you can sell those blanket controls anywhere from 10 bucks on up, depending on what model it is. Some of them can be 30, 40, 50, $60 just for electric blanket controller. The heat controls for the skillets, same thing. You can get 5, 10 bucks a piece for them, and occasionally you can get 50 or 60 for one of them. But the find of the day, I looked it up right quick, was that cast iron Dutch oven. If you find Griswold cast iron out there, it'll always have a number on it. If that number is even, like a number 8, that's a good piece. However, if that number is odd, there's a very good chance that it is a great piece. That little Dutch oven we found is a number 7. I did a quick research and I found a recent sold one identical to mine for $300. So that is a really good piece. But just like the last Griswold we found, it's going to have to go through a cleaning process. It takes a long time to clean one of those the way I do it. I really need to set me up an electrolysis tank and cut this cleaning time down to only a day or two, because this 2 or 3 weeks to get one clean just isn't cutting it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. I'll get this edited together for you tonight and get it out for you tomorrow, which will be right now for you. I'm going to go get me some lunch and see what else I can get into today. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all come back now, you hear?